Hello everyone, it's your boy, the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another Best Ball Draft video. Today, we're hopping in a Best Ball Mania draft on Underdog Fantasy. Hopping on, we get the 10th pick. First 4 picks already off the board. Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and Christian McCaffrey. Justin Jefferson's been going at 2 a lot more lately. It is a little bit surprising, but I think Justin Jefferson is such a talented wide receiver that you can't really put it past people. Here, we're at the 10th pick. Probably going to end up with someone like Najee Harris, someone like Dalvin Cook. One of these 4 running backs will be ours. Whoever that may be is fine by me. Whether that be Austin Eckler or Dalvin Cook. Really hoping for Austin Eckler, I guess, now that he's on the board still, potentially, at 10. Don't think it's going to happen, but it is possible. Nick Rue is a huge Dalvin Cook fan and does take Dalvin Cook. Either way, though, we're not going to be mad. He is a huge Dalvin Cook fan and does take Dalvin Cook. We get Austin Eckler. Let's go, boys. Already starting off this draft really strong. Now we can double up, get somebody like Austin Eckler and Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler and CeeDee Lamb. There's a lot of unique team combinations here that we can get because Austin Eckler fell to us at 10, giving us flexibility to draft differently for the rest of the draft here. This is freaking awesome, boys. Oh my god. This is really good. You don't really see drafts like this too often. Austin Eckler does not fall 10 too often. As long as CeeDee Lamb or Joe Mixon is on the board here, we will be taking one of them. Fobe probably knows better. He probably knows to take Joe Mixon here. And at that point, we might switch it up. We may take somebody like Saquon Barkley here because we do already have a draft. Oh, Saquon Barkley coming off the board here. Oh my god. We get Austin Eckler. We get Joe Mixon here. Both way behind ADP. Now we have two absolutely insane running backs. 2 running backs I would consider like really good, really talented running backs. 2 running backs that I think easily could both finish in the top 5 this year. And now we're in a position too where at pick 34 and 39, we can be taking these wide receivers here. We can be getting Hollywood Brown. We can be getting Jalen Waddle, Deontay Johnson. And then at 58, someone like a Rashad Bateman, someone like a Darnell Mooney. There's a lot of guys we could be taking here. Now that we have these 2 running backs completely set, we don't have to worry about running back for pretty much the rest of the draft, honestly, which is really nice. Maybe take one more good running back, but other than that, nothing really too crazy. Here we got DeAndre Swift coming off the board at pick 17. Mike Evans at pick 16. Mike Evans been absolutely shooting up draft boards. I think now is pretty much hit his ceiling in terms of where he's going to go. I can't see him going any higher than this. Deebo Samuel and DeAndre Swift. Deebo Samuel, I don't fully understand the fall. I guess it's just because there's so many guys in this area that are really talented running backs and really talented wide receivers in this area. But I don't understand why he's fallen so much. He was a wide receiver too last season. I do think it is possible for him to regress. I mean, he most likely will regress, but still staying in that offense with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan obviously knows how to use him, and Deebo Samuel looked like an absolute freak athlete last year. I mean, he looked like a man among boys, which is honestly crazy. Here we got Aaron Jones, Leonard Fournette, and Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams coming off the board really pretty early, honestly, way earlier than his normal ADP. Not sure if that's because Melvin Gordon got injured and I just didn't read about it, but it's interesting to see. Now we got Tyreek Hill coming off the board. Pretty interesting draft so far. Nothing really too crazy. The Saquon pick, maybe a tiny bit of a reach in terms of ADP, but I don't mind it. I think he does have the upside to become a really great player, and he's who I was going to take if Joe Mixon was off the board. Because I do think it is possible. Joe Mixon's like a really great player, and so is Saquon. But both of these 2 players are guys I really like this year at ADP or a little bit ahead of ADP. T. Higgins, Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews falling all the way to pick 23. Oh my god. This guy must be pretty happy at 2 taking Mark Andrews and Justin Jefferson. Mark Andrews has been falling down the board a fair amount lately, which I really don't understand, honestly. I think in the range from, I don't know, 20, maybe even 19 to 24, I'm taking Mark Andrews with all those picks. And now he's falling all the way to pick 23. I'm going to be taking him everywhere, I think, in drafts from now on in the back half of the first, the back half of this, the back half of the second round. I think if he gets there, I'm taking him every time. I don't get why people are letting him fall so much. I'd rather have him than probably all the guys ahead of him, except for maybe Leonard Fournette. I really don't understand it. Here, pick 27. We have Cortland Sutton coming off the board. Oh my god, boys. We are taking these guys to absolute value town today. We are taking them to value town. We're going to be getting some great players here at pick 34 if they're taking Cortland Sutton at 27, if Mike Williams is coming off the board at 26, Javonte Williams at 21, A.J. Brown at 28. A lot of reaches, which is exactly what you like to see. Alvin Kamara off the board at 29. Lots of reaches, which is exactly what you want to see. Michael Pittman coming off the board at pick 30. Here we would be hoping for Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen would obviously be the best of the best. I don't think we'll get him. I really don't. But it is possible. Maybe if not, we go with someone like a Marquise Hollywood-Brown, like James Conner, and just absolutely deck out a running back position. Jerry Jeudy coming off the board at pick 31. Oh my god. It's actually entirely possible we get Keenan Allen here. Probably not, though. Super Tanner does not have a wide receiver yet, unless he likes DJ Moore a little bit more, which is certainly possible. I will be hoping for one of these two guys, whether that be DJ Moore or Keenan Allen. One of the two. One of the two would be awesome. Super Tanner 69, taking Marquise Hollywood-Brown, which means it is really possible we get Keenan Allen here. If we get Keenan Allen, oh my god. Keenan Allen 7 picks behind ADP. Wow. Keenan Allen does come off the board here. A little bit disappointing. Here we probably will go DJ Moore. Getting him at a tiny bit of a value, which is nice. I'll take that. I will take that any day of the week. And then hope for Jalen Waddle. If not, these two running backs would be great too, whether it be ETN or James Conner or Josh Allen. If Josh Allen makes it to us, these four guys, all above the rest in my opinion. Maybe even Kyle Pitts. I guess any of these five guys. If any of these five guys fall, I will be taking any of these five guys. That's pretty much how it is. Deontay Johnson coming off the board, so one of these guys will fall. Maybe even two. Josh Allen coming off the board here at the 312. I would have really liked him. Maybe we do go Kyle Pitts here, honestly. Maybe we go Kyle Pitts. It is possible because tight ends in the next round after this, we really don't have any great options at tight end. I'm assuming Foe probably will go Kyle Pitts here, allowing us to go Jalen Waddle. I'd kind of prefer Jalen Waddle, but there's just so much value falling to us. It's actually ridiculous. Kyle Pitts coming off the board here. Now I am a little torn between going Jalen Waddle or Travis Etienne. We probably will go Jalen Waddle here. I think we will go Jalen Waddle. Because in the next round, at pick 58 and 63, we should be able to get pretty good value at running back, taking someone like a J.K. Dobbins. Although I do like the value on ETN, it would have been nice to take him there. I think securing our wide receiver position is probably pretty smart. And then at 58, hoping quarterback falls, especially because Josh Allen fell all the way to pick 36. It is pretty interesting to see that he fell all the way to 36, meaning quarterbacks could be falling down this draft board here. Darren Waller at 41. I can't believe Kyle Pitts fell all the way to 38. I mean, at 34, I don't really love the value, but at 38 or 39, I probably would have had to have taken him. I'm not huge. I don't have too much Kyle Pitts this year, just because I'm a little concerned with the offense. I think I would rather take somebody like Drake London, who's going 30, 40 picks later, because I think the offense is pretty bad, and they will probably have a pretty similar target share, and then hopefully end up with somebody like George Kittle. But I do like Kyle Pitts a lot. I think the talent is totally there. I'm not denying that. I'm a little concerned with Marcus Mariota, as I think everyone else should be. But I think Kyle Pitts is still a dynasty. I mean, we're talking dynasty Kyle Pitts, I mean, he's probably the fourth best player in dynasty. Like, if I were doing a dynasty startup draft, I'd probably take him at 4, maybe 5. I don't know. I think it's hard to really say he can go much lower than that, especially with his absolutely insane rookie year. Only tight end to put up 1,000 yards with Matt Ryan as his quarterback. Terry McLaurin, Travis Etienne, Gabe Davis, Allen Robinson. And then we got a little bit of a running back run going on here. Cam Akers to Breece Hall. Zeke fallen yet again. He's been falling down these draft boards. I'll scoop value with Zeke if he falls to me at a value, and Cam Akers and Breece Hall aren't on the board. But I'm not really too big of a fan of drafting Zeke this year. Even though he was the running back 6 last year, I think I really should be a fan of drafting Zeke in terms of the fact that he looks like on the surface he looks like he should be a value, but realistically he's just not a value in my opinion. I think Tony Pollard cemented himself as at least a pretty strong running back option there, and will be taking a lot of the receiving workload. With Zeke's contract, Zeke will still definitely be getting work, and Zeke has never missed a game in his NFL career, which he does have going for him. And it is pretty good. I mean, Zeke has been one of the most consistent fantasy options since I really even started doing fantasy. I started with my friends in 2013 and 2015, 2016. Ever since then, really, Zeke has been one of the most consistent fantasy options, going top 5 in the NFL draft. When you see draft capital like that, you gotta be hammering people like that early on in fantasy drafts. We got DK Metcalf coming off the board at pick 51, Lamar at pick 50. It is possible. Pat Mahomes is still on the board. There are some good quarterbacks here still on the board. It is possible we end up with Pat Mahomes at pick 58, in my opinion. It's actually entirely possible. I think people have been kind of letting Mahomes drop a little bit, a fair amount. Although none of these guys really do have quarterbacks here, aside from Nick Rowe, it is possible we see Pat Mahomes drop. Also, George Kittle on the board, another guy to look out for. We have two phenomenal talents that we really, really still like on this board. If George Kittle could somehow make it to us, I would scream. I would jump for joy. Probably not going to happen, though. If not, we're taking probably, most likely, Chris Godwin uh, at the pick here, because I do like Chris Godwin. We're going to have back-to-back, or not back-to-back drafts, but 2 drafts in a row where we get Joe Mixon and Chris Godwin, most likely. George Kittle coming off the board here at pick 56. Does seem a little absurd to me. Oh, David Montgomery, actually, too. I probably will take David Montgomery here if on the board. If not, Chris Godwin. I do think David Montgomery, I haven't really drafted too much David Montgomery, but he's being absolutely slept on this year. I mean, Khalil Herbert, when David Montgomery was playing, was virtually non-existent. Khalil Herbert, we all saw Khalil Herbert absolutely feast. Uh, okay, we're taking David Montgomery here first before I ramble on about him. But Khalil Herbert, before David Montgomery's injury, was non-existent. After David Montgomery's injury, he popped off for a little while and then became non-existent yet again. Uh, David Montgomery is going to command every single touch in that offense, most likely. Like there's almost no way around it. He's going to command almost every single touch in that offense. Jalen Hurts comes off the board here, really hoping for Jalen Hurts to fall to us. Instead, we will take Kyler Murray here. I do think Kyler Murray is still, a pretty solid QB option, although I don't really like him as much as Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts more in this range just because I think Jalen Hurts will get a lot more rushing volume than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is still going to be a fantastic rushing quarterback, but I don't think he's going to be the same as someone like Jalen Hurts, who's more dependent on it for his job than Kyler Murray. Jalen Hurts also got a massive upgrade at the wide receiver position, and Kyler Murray will have that upgrade when DeAndre Hopkins comes back from injury, so it's not too bad. But I just like Jalen Hurts a little better. I think Jalen Hurts also has one of the best O-lines in the entire league. So here we got a little bit of a wide receiver run coming off the board here. We got Diop, Russell Gage, Adam Thielen, all coming off the board here. Pick 64 to 66. It has been a pretty interesting draft so far. I think a lot more value than usual has fallen, which is good. So we like to see. Pick 67, Drake London. I do really like this team as a whole. Honestly, I really like this team. From Austin Eckler all the way down. Our wide receivers could be a bit better, but we pretty much have every other position on lock. We grab wide receivers at 82 and 87. All these guys I pretty much look at. After Chris Godwin, I do see a pretty big tier break. All these guys, in my opinion, do have their own pros and they do have their own cons, but overall they're pretty similar in terms of how I value them. I don't think one is really stand out better than the other. Russell Gage could easily be the best. Drake London could easily be the best. Not too high on Elijah Moore or Devonta Smith, but it's a story for another day. I think in this range, it's probably better to tackle this running back class. Hopefully get somebody like Josh Jacobs. Hopefully get someone like AJ Dillon. I think there's a lot more value to be had at other positions in this range. Alan Lazard, I guess, would be somebody I kind of like after this range, but wow, we have some really good value falling yet again. Elijah Mitchell, I haven't really been touching him at all in drafts, but if he's gonna fall 20 picks to me, I'll gladly take him. Dalton Schultz, same thing. Now I'm kind of off his value, off his ADP at this point because he has rose so much. But if I can get him at pick, what is it, 82? 82, I would gladly take him. I don't think it's gonna happen though. And Amari Cooper, again, I'm kind of off Amari Cooper now with the whole Deshaun Watson situation. I do think his ADP is a little bit too high for where he's being drafted at this point, but if he does fall to 82, I would have to take him. There's a lot of guys right now that I think are too good of values to really pass up if they get to me at pick 82. Not sure if they will. I think a lot of the value's been falling to around the first half. Especially, I can't believe George Kittle fell all the way to 56. I mean, I would have loved that. That would have been absolutely awesome. I would have been screaming, jumping for joy. Look at Amari Cooper coming off at 76. Still no Dalton Schultz, though. Trey Lance at 77. I was kind of hoping he'd fall to me. Tony Pollard at 78. There's absolutely no way. Nick Rowe's got to snipe me here. This guy's got 2 tight ends. He's not going to be taken. There's no way he's taken. There's no way he's taking Dalton Schultz. But it is possible Nick Rowe takes Dalton Schultz, which would break my heart because he's staring at me in the face. If not, there's a couple players we like here. Please, please, Nick Rowe. Please, I'm begging. I'm begging you. He goes Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We're taking Dalton Schultz. We're taking Dalton Schultz. Oh my god. We're taking Dalton Schultz. 14 picks behind his ADP. Or 15 picks behind his ADP. Oh my god. Wow. Holy crap. Meaning now we only have to take 2 tight ends, which is really nice. Maybe I'll get TJ Hawkinson in the next round too. Really just solidify and have such a well-rounded offense, which I really do like. We'll probably be doing that. And then maybe that or QB. I'm a little torn. Maybe we force up these QBs a little bit. Get Tom Brady off the board. Get Dak off the board. I'm thinking Dak because we'll have a little stack option with Dak. But Tom Brady also a phenomenal QB option. Honestly, I think we will go Tom Brady here. I think Tom Brady's going to be slinging touchdowns. It's Tom Brady. I mean, come on. He doesn't have the rushing upside, obviously, that Dak has. But Dak really doesn't have too much rushing upside either. And Dak's offense has gotten a pretty fair amount worse with no Amari Cooper. Again, a lot of these wide receivers I like, but I don't love. I mean, Kadarius Toney's probably one that I do love. I think he's really talented. At least he's one of the most talented wide receivers, Kadarius Toney, that I've seen. I really do think he's going to be a phenomenal wide receiver in the NFL if he can stay healthy. But I'm a little concerned overall about his health and the offense this year. I do think it has the ability to do really, really well. And if you are playing against the Giants offense, I would say taking Kadarius Toney and Daniel Jones as a late stack is really, really smart. Me personally, I don't own too much Kadarius Toney. I really should own more, honestly. But this is kind of the range where I draft QBs, where I draft other positions. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to stick with our guns, even though we probably should have gone Kadarius Toney, maybe. We do get, and we do also, a good thing with this is we do kind of push up these quarterbacks a little bit, getting Dak Prescott off this board and Matt Stafford. Chris Olave, Chase Edmonds, Christian Kirk, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Kadarius Toney all coming off the board, as well as Tyler Lockett. I think it's these running backs that are really getting pushed up here, which is really good for us because we have 3 amazing running backs. David Montgomery at 58, I cannot believe we got. I think this team is actually, I think we're going to have a little bit of a clickbaity title here because this team is actually God tier. Oh my God. This team is straight God tier. We have no weaknesses whatsoever. Our wide receiver positions might be a little under the average, but not too bad. We will make up for that. We will make up for that greatly in the last rounds of this draft. We will make up for that so much, especially because wide receiver value has been falling. I imagine a lot of wide receivers will be off the board by the time I get to pick 106. But I pick 106, we take somebody like Garrett Wilson, and then I pick 111, we get somebody like Christian Watson. Oh my God. Derek Carr off the board at pick 98 here. So we do have these quarterbacks getting pushed up a little bit. Kirk Cousins, let's go. Let's go. So our Tom Brady pick is looking really, really smart now. Glad I took him over Kadarius Toney at this point. Aaron Rodgers is still on the board, which is probably the only quarterback I would consider taking at 106. But whether he makes it there is a whole different story. I mean, he could easily not make it there at this point. This guy took you over. That's interesting. Zach Ertz coming off the board at pick 100. Making our Dalton Schultz pick look even better, too. It would have been nice getting TJ Hawkinson, but I think Tom Brady's just the better option there. And we could also take Dawson Knox or, what's his name, Dallas Goedert at pick 106, too, if we want, and just completely have dominance at every position except for wide receiver. Because Dallas Goedert and Dawson Knox are both still on the board here. Maybe if both of them are still on the board, we let them go until next round, potentially. Or take Kareem Hunt. There's a lot of guys I still really, really like on this board. Kareem Hunt is off the board. If Dallas Goedert and Dawson Knox still both are on the board, I'm going to let them go and just hope one of them falls. Because I do think the odds are pretty good. If they fall? I don't know about that. Aaron Rodgers coming off the board here at pick 104. I think we do go Dawson Knox here. We really don't have the stack that I usually like to get with Dallas Goedert. So we're going to go Dawson Knox here. I think he will probably have more boom weeks than Dallas Goedert. So now we got our two tight ends. We got all our good running backs, all our good QBs. And we are looking pretty good here. I think either one of Christian Watson or Garrett Wilson, if either of them fall here, I will be scooping them up. Probably Christian Watson over Garrett Wilson, in my opinion, at this point. Because I think Christian Watson's being absolutely slept on in in this underdog format. Christian Watson obviously joining one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league. I can't stop pounding the hammer on him enough. I don't understand. People, please, if you're watching this video and you need one takeaway, take Christian Watson. Take Christian Watson everywhere you can. We're taking Christian Watson. We're taking him at pick 111. A little bit above his ADP, but that's okay. Garrett Wilson coming off the board at pick 112. I think it is nice, too, to take Christian Watson here because it's a little bit of a more of a unique team combination. I mean, this team combination is already really unique. We've had so much value fall to us. It's actually ridiculous. This is the most value I've had in so long falling to us. This title is going to be a little clickbaity, but it's because it can be. While we're here, if you guys are still watching the video, please, if you could, go down, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how I did in this draft. Leave a comment, let me know if you think there's some value that I'm missing on the board, with picks like Kadarius Toney, Devin Singletary, Clyde. Please let me know. I would really be interested to hear your opinions on that. And if you really do like the content, please subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. Honestly, like that would make my day. Every subscriber I get, we're at 9 now. It really would make my day. So thank you guys so much. And sorry for the interruption, but we are back to the video. We got Garrett Wilson, Cordero Patterson, Gallup, Cook, Claypool, and Ramondre Stevenson. It would have been interesting to take James Cook at pick 111. I was definitely considering it. Or Chase Claypool as well. I think both of those two were picks that I was considering, but I really do just like the value on Christian Watson way more than any of these guys, aside from James Cook. And our wide receiver room is much weaker than our running back room here. So we will not go James Cook. Jacoby Myers coming off the board pretty early, honestly. Wow. Really early. This guy likes reaching. Bistabam. He takes whoever he wants, and that's okay. You know, I'll let people do that. I'll take free $5. Schned's drafted well, or Schneid. I like his team a lot. I mean, he's got a lot of wide receivers, but that's okay. That's good. That's exactly what you want. He doesn't have a tight end yet, though. He probably is waiting for this tight end value to fall to him at 144. It is possible Gesicki falls. There's a lot of guys I like here that could fall. Jameson Williams coming off the board at pick 121. That does kind of stink. A lot of these wide receivers are coming off the board pretty early now, which is a little concerning. Ronald Jones off the board as well. I'm hoping for Jarvis Landry, Jahan Dotson, Jamison Crowder, Joshua Palmer. Any of these guys I would really like. As for this running backs, there's really not too many I like. Maybe I'll take Madison as just a pure backup, potentially, or Dameon Pierce. I mean, he is walking into a situation where he's got the running back room with a lot of veterans. In redraft, I'm a little concerned. In a redraft formats, I'm a little concerned with Dameon Pierce because he is walking into a room where he's literally just going to be. There's just so many veteran backs there. But in a dynasty format, I think he's a much more interesting pick. I might go with Madison here, honestly. Just bolster our running back room just a tiny bit more. Get 4 amazing running backs. Madison coming off the board here, so we'll scratch that idea. Bolster our wide receivers a lot more. Because wide receivers and 2 more running backs are all we need for the rest of the draft, which is really nice. I actually love that about this team. The fact that it's all we need for the rest of the draft. And I mean, although there aren't really too many great running backs on the board left, we can get Tyler J. or Tyrion Davis-Price coming off the board in the next round. We probably will be able to get 2 of these great wide receivers. I was really hoping for Jarvis Landry here, actually. Believe it or not, I've kind of more so bought into the Jarvis Landry narrative as of late. I think Jarvis Landry is walking into a position where he's going to be getting tons and tons of targets just because he has to be. Him and Olave. Olave, same thing. I think Olave is being like ridiculously slept on right now. I mean, he's walking into a situation. Where does he go off the board? 95. He's in a situation where I don't get why he's being drafted way behind guys like Hunter Renfrow, Brandon Ayuk, Kadarius Toney. I guess maybe not Kadarius. Oh wait, I'm up. Let me just make this pick first before I make all these points. We're gonna take. Hmm. We're going to take Joshua Palmer here, and the reason why we're going to take Joshua Palmer over Jamison Crowder is because I think the boom potential is a lot higher. And in a team or in a build where we don't have that many great wide receivers, I would like a little bit more boom potential because if Joshua Palmer does pop off, we're in like a lot better of a position. Or let's say Keenan Allen gets injured, or Mike Williams gets injured, for instance. He's in a situation where he's going to be getting tons and tons of targets. Whereas Jamison Crowder's ceiling is not nearly as high. So we are going to be taking Joshua Palmer here. But back to what I was saying. What was I? I don't even remember what I was talking about just now. We got Robbie Anderson, Van Jefferson, Irv Smith coming off the board. These tight ends are falling pretty substantially. We got Cole Kmet, Mike Gesicki still on the board. Oh yeah, Damian Pierce. I think Damian Pierce is much more interesting in a dynasty format than he is in a redraft format at this point. I do think it is possible Damian Pierce does get a fair amount of touches this year, but I don't know. I just can't really trust it at this point. They did draft him pretty late as well. I mean, it's the same thing, I guess, with Tyler Algier in terms of philosophy, but Tyler Algier is coming into a much less crowded room, first and foremost, in terms of the fact that Houston is way more veteran backs. And two, Tyler Algier is walking into an offense. It's going to be pretty much just as bad, but I think it's much more interesting. He has a much higher chance for the starting job in redraft, and that's why I like Tyler Algier a lot more. Also, Tyrion Davis Price too. I mean, same thing. Just potential for a starting role. That's really what it comes down to at this point with running backs. That's really all I want. Mike Gesicki falling to pick 144. As I said, I think I willed that into existence for Jay Schneed or Schneed. We got Rashad White as well coming off the board at pick 145. It's a pretty interesting draft so far. I would say this has been a draft I've seen value fall way, way, way more than almost any other draft. I don't think I've seen this much value fall in a really, really long time. To me, to anyone, it's actually crazy. I mean, I'm not complaining or anything. This team is god tier. Oh, Trevor Lawrence gets taken at pick 147. It's pretty early. I mean, I guess it is good. Now we have more players falling to us, which is really good for us. That's exactly what we like to see. Uh, I guess it is a little sad because I like to be the one to take Deshaun Watson, or I like to see him fall a little more. Maybe like pick 190 or something like that, and I take Deshaun Watson there. Because at that point, I will probably take Deshaun Watson even more, even if I have two great quarterbacks, just because Deshaun Watson's ceiling is so, so, so good. I'm trying to take as much Deshaun Watson as I can at his ADP currently. I mean, I just think it's so, so smart. Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, and Matt Ryan coming off the board. Matt Ryan's an interesting pick, but the ceiling's just not that high. I mean, I just don't understand. In my opinion, for quarterbacks, you really, really want to go for ceiling because those rushing QBs uh, can get you so many more points than, unless you're Tom Brady, than the passing QBs. Oh my God, Jamison Crowder's still on the board. Holy crap, we're taking Jamison Crowder. Oh my God. I didn't even have to think twice about that. Wow. Oh my God. Now we'll probably end up with either Tyrion Davis Price or Tyler Algier, whichever one falls. If both of them fall, that's where it gets a little questionable. Mm, that's where it gets really questionable, honestly. I'm not too sure. I like both of them around equally. I guess if I were to pick, probably Algier at this point. Probably Algier. Most likely Algier. But it's close. It's really close. Both of them are like neck and neck for me. So I can't be too picky either way. I hope Phil Bryant just takes one of them so I can just take the other. Honestly, I'm looking back at this video in 6 months. If this is the decision that loses me or wins me, he goes Tyler Algier. We take Tyrion Davis Price. This is the decision that loses me or wins me. $2 million. I'd like to think that I hopefully made the right one here. That'd be awesome. We do get Tyrion Davis Price, which is really, really nice. So we got Kyler Murray, Tom Brady, four great running backs. We could take one more late in the draft. And then these wide receivers, we're rounding out the room. I mean, it's not great. It really isn't, but we get everything else is so good that it kind of outweighs it. our whole draft's been really, really good so far. We're gonna make a nice thumbnail for this one. We're gonna, oh my god, this is actually crazy. And the best part is this is on Best Ball Mania 3, which is to win $2 million. Granted, there are a lot more entrants, and the entry fee is $25, but getting value in this draft versus the puppy is usually a lot harder, honestly. Puppies are a lot easier because people are testing out new draft strategies, new philosophies, everything like that. But in Best Ball Mania 3, people are putting $25 on the line. This draft in total is worth um, a lot of money, honestly. What, 250, $300, right? In total, spent on all 12 players. So $300 is spent. People are putting real money on the line here to draft these players, to put money behind the players that they find have potential to have a great season next year. And that's what I'm doing as well, honestly. And that's why I think it is interesting to see who goes where, what ADPs are in this format, more so than looking at sleeper ADP or ESPN ADP at this point, because not too many people are drafting on those, and those aren't real money leagues. A lot of the time. I mean, sleeper potentially uh, more so real money leagues than ESPN. But still, I mean, at this point, I don't think the ADPs are really all that good. I was looking through Sleeper ADP yesterday, or 2 days ago now, and I think Sleeper ADP is totally whacked out. I mean, Antonio Gibson was ahead of guys like J.K. Dobbins. He was ahead of, let me see who else. It was actually ridiculous. David Montgomery. I think he was even ahead of Travis Etienne, or just barely behind him, which I think is like totally whack. I would never buy Antonio Gibson at that price point. But at Antonio Gibson's price point now, I totally would. So it all really depends on ADP, honestly. And I think sleeper ADP, there's massive, massive places for value. Also, not to get too off topic with sleeper ADP, but Rashad Bateman is going way behind where I think he should be valued. Darnell Mooney is going way behind where I think he should be valued. There's a lot of really, really good players that I. Oh, Mark Andrews and Travis. Mark Andrews is going ahead, actually. He's going at pick like 10 or 11. In terms of flex spots, one quarterback leagues, he's going 10 or 11, and Travis Kelce's going at like 9, which I don't think should be the case. I think Mark Andrews at an ADP of like 18, 19 is so much better, but I'm fine with it because it allows other players to get pushed down the board, which is really, really nice. Ryan Tannehill coming off the board, pick 175, Zach Wilson at 174. We got Will Fuller as well. Here we're probably going to go Alec Pierce. Get Alec Pierce, get Wandale, get Devin Duvernay. I'll call it a day. Which is pretty nice, honestly. Nick Rowe, picking here. He's got 8 wide receivers. We got 4 picks left, so we'll see who we can get. Wandale coming up for the board. We'll take Alec Pierce. Getting a fair amount of rookies here. We got 3 rookies on the team, which I do like. I think it's good to take rookies, especially because their ceiling is just a lot higher than where they're being drafted usually. Here, I probably will take Devin Duvernay just because there's nobody else in that offense right now. This could end up being a wasted pick if somebody like Julio Jones goes there. And it very well could be. But I think Devin Duvernay just has to get volume at this point. There's just no other way around it. He's aiming for a starting role. I mean, if he doesn't get starting work, I would be very, very surprised. Let me check these running backs out just really quick. You get Mark Ingram here, actually. It would be an interesting pick. But I don't think taking Mark Ingram unless you have Alvin Kamara is smart. Honestly, like you're getting production for the first 6 weeks, sure, potential production for the first 6 weeks. But after that, it's like it's done. Like it's worthless. It's absolutely worthless to take a guy like Mark Ingram unless you have Alvin Kamara, in my opinion. Here we do have an absolutely stacked roster, though. I mean, seriously, one of the best rosters I've put together in a long, long time. I say that every video, but this video, I really do mean it 100%. This team is absolutely stacked. Our wide receivers, could do a little bit better. Every other position is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Terrace Marshall coming off the board to pick 186. I would have liked to have gotten him, especially having DJ Moore. It is possible to have that tandem, if the Panthers' offense is better than expected, which I don't really expect it to be, but if it is better than expected, we would have Terrace Marshall and DJ Moore, both players who could do really, really well this season. Terrace Marshall also, I think the talent is definitely there with Terrace Marshall. Same thing with DJ Moore. I mean, the talent's always been there with DJ Moore. Guy has consistent 1,100-yard seasons. If he could just get 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns, instead of his meager 4 that he gets every year, he would be a top 10 wide receiver easily. I mean, it's like, it'd be like, he'd be like Deontay Johnson, you know? That level good. And he has potential to have even more yards with a quarterback that's like, it kind of reminds me of Allen Robinson, where Allen Robinson's just had absolutely terrible quarterback play his whole career. Now finally going over to Matt Stafford, which could totally change his trajectory. And I kind of hope it does. Like, I feel like the whole narrative with Allen Robinson is that he's always been like slept on, blah blah blah, all this, but like he never really got the credit he deserves. So now going into an offense where he can finally get the credit he deserves, I'd like to see potential for him to do really well. Jared Goff, Chris Evans coming off the board. We got Brian Robinson, Njoku as well, AJ Green, Julio Jones, Jerick McKinnon. It's pretty interesting pickups. We're kind of getting again to the riffraff of the draft. The worst of the worst. The bench warmers. The guys you hope can score 30 fantasy points 1 week, and then probably will drop back into fantasy irrelevancy for your roster. But here we do have 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 8 wide receivers, and 2 tight ends. So we'll either take a 5th running back. We'll probably will take a 5th running back here and a 9th wide receiver, I think. It's probably fair. I think we could get away with just having 4 running backs, honestly. But I think it probably would be smarter to take a 5th running back here and just to secure the room a little bit. Get somebody like Donta Foreman, if possible. I do really like Donta Foreman, honestly, as a backup, because I think he's honestly pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. And I think Christian McCaffrey has been injured a fair amount of times. Enough to where there is some concern about Christian McCaffrey. So we most likely will be taking Donta Foreman here. Donta Foreman had 566 yards last year, too, serving as a backup for Derrick Henry. Now going over, I really hope we can get him here. That would actually be awesome. Maybe even Mark Ingram, too, at this point. I know I was trashing him before. We will take Donta Foreman first. But at this point, if Mark Ingram does fall to us, I think I could entertain the possibility of taking him with our last pick. I was kind of saying I don't think he's smart to take at his ADP, but I think in the last pick it is possible. Benjamin off the board here. We're going to take him. We're going to take Deontay Foreman. Especially because who are the wide receivers on the board this year? Oh my God, Romeo Dobbs. There really is nobody left. I think I'm talking myself into it. We're taking Mark Ingram here just for hopefully 6 weeks of production in the last round of the draft. I mean, six weeks of production in the last round of the draft is a lot better than 6 weeks of production. Pick 183 with 4 rounds left. But anyways, that just about wraps up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know how I did in this draft. I hope you guys really have an awesome day, and thank you guys again so much for watching. Please, if you're interested, check out some of my other videos. I made a playlist, my best ball drafts. If you want to see other best ball drafts, other formats, everything like that, please check out my playlist, my fantasy football playlist. I hope you all have an awesome day.